such a nice gentleman. Oh, hello.
It's funny because it's not true.
Pretty good.
We just got back
Where'd you
from
get-
seeing the Justice League. Not.
Are you recording?
Yes.
How do you like my forced banter?
Nice.
Well, it's almost 1 in.
It
is.
is.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
that's a good way to start it.
And we've just finished watching our second scary movie of the day.
Yep.
Or
This-
of yesterday, I should say.
Netflix
Yeah.
originals.
But
Were they both Netflix originals?
Yep.
Wow.
One
Yeah.
was Veronica, which we watched because I saw a bunch of articles online.
Mostly tweets.
Yeah, that said no. I found critical, quote unquote critical reviews with the quotation marks in the air. That said that it was so scary that people couldn't finish it.
So,
So we watched it to see if we could finish it.
And I just saw The Ritual, the second one,
Yeah.
on Netflix, and it looked vaguely like about hiking and about Nordic stuff, so it should be cool.
Yeah.
right up our alley.
Right. So we decided to watch both of them, and now this is MugCast with me, Bryce.
Me, Ben.
Me, Patrick.
Me, who is Ted.
Me, who is Ted.
All right.
I am me.
But so let's start with Veronica, I guess.
Sure. Well, spoiler alert, we
drifted
made
to-
it through the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
We're in the 30%.
As tempted as we were to stop.
See, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a solid... Well, actually, just real quick, I'd like to make a note from our last podcast about The Last
Oh.
Jedi.
Ranking?
Oh.
Yeah.
And the more and more we talk about it, the less and less I like it. Drop down to a 5 for me, I would say.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm
Mainly just because I want to give Veronica a 6.5.
right. It was one of those
Solid
things
film,
where
enjoyable film.
right.
Not that scary. That's okay.
Yeah. I noticed that there's a lot of things in my life that I'd love to give a 6 out of 10. And The Last Jedi is just not one of them. So I'm very disappointed in myself listening back to our first MugCast podcast where we just shit on that movie. And then at the end of it, I go, nope, 6 out of 5. Or 6 out of 5? Oh,
It was so good.
so good.
Exceptional film.
6 out of 10. No, it was not. I'm going to drop it down to a solid, based on pure enjoyment, a 4.5. I'm dropping it way down.
Damn.
And it will continue to decrease in quality
more and
over
more we
time.
talk.
It won't age well. Would you, Ben or Ted? Would you like to?
I'm still, at a,
4.5?
I'm still at a 6.10.
Yeah,
6 out of 10.
I'd give it...
Points 10. It's 1 in the morning.
I don't remember what I gave it last time. It was like a 7.2.
Yeah, that's got to drop.
That's
I think I
You're not
dropped-
allowed.
No, I dropped it to a 6 point something, I think. I think I'd drop it down to a solid 6, because I thought it was an enjoyable movie.
Right.
You are wrong, but that's all right. We're allowed to be wrong sometimes.
Yes. I think it didn't live up to the hype, but I think if there wasn't so much hype around it,
Yeah, just a quick note on that, actually, before we get started on Veronica is what's the other movie?
Veronica
The
and The Ritual.
the Veronica ritual.
But hype is terrible for movies. Like we all saw Black Panther the other day, I had such high expectations coming from everyone I spoke to about the villain, and I like Michael B. Jordan a lot, but he could not possibly have lived up to the hype that he was given.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I feel like that probably took away from it. And the same thing is going to happen with every Star Wars film, like the Solo film.
They're hyping
Like,
the
I'm worried.
crap out of Infinity War, and they've been
Yeah.
hyping it for years. So if there's a lot of pressure.
If they
on
don't kill everyone.
there's a lot of pressure on them to make it very good.
Yeah.
True.
But that's not what we're talking.
No,
No.
we're not.
So
Why don't we should we start out? Cause last podcast we had a starting ranking then a finishing ranking.
Yes,
Anything
I like that
So
format.
again, I think I already said Veronica. I give it a solid 6.5, and I'm a harsh critic, but it was a very enjoyable movie that was flawed but interesting, and I again, I think there was a little hype when we all said, "Oh, it's the scariest movie ever." People are gonna leave
Yeah.
it.
Although
I was,
we did
expecting something, and that it just didn't quite deliver on that. But
Yeah.
still, I liked it a lot.
I didn't
enjoyed
see
it
it
a lot.
I didn't see it as scarier than any other movie.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see it as scarier than like It,
Yeah.
or even scarier than The Ritual.
Yeah.
I think I didn't see anything that was like unprecedented in the horror genre
Yeah.
that would make people shit their pants and.
No, it was kind
turn
of
off
stuck
the
to the
screen.
formula. But so what's your number?
Wait, can I just? Do you mind if I interject really quick?
Yes, very much. I guess.
Okay,
Go ahead.
well, fuck off. Before like we get deep into it with spoilers and everything, I do suggest that everybody go watch these movies first.
If you have Netflix.
If you have Netflix.
Right, yeah. Well, of course, if you're
yeah,
about to listen to the podcast and you found us by randomly, the chances of you leaving to watch a movie and then coming back are slim. So if
Please,
you're already
God,
here,
stay here.
skip the movies and just listen to the review that you will not understand, and then watch the movies later. Okay. I do recommend both of them,
Both good
and we
films.
will be speaking
We will
in
be
depth
spoiling.
about everything that happens in both of those movies. Not everything that happens because I can't really remember it.
We will be spoiling.
But yes,
Yeah,
yes,
spoiling.
ton of spoilers. But I do suggest that you go see them. Ben, I interrupted you, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and you never forgive me.
I would give Veronica a solid 5 out of 10, and that score may drop
Really?
Damn.
because I don't think
Snap, man.
I
I
there
thought
were
that
some
was
good.
harsh.
Here's the thing. I thought there were some good spots to the movie, but I don't think they capitalized on them fully. Mm-hmm. And I think the rest was just pretty like standard fare. So that's why I'm going middle of the road for now.
But you think it might drop?
I think it might drop as we nitpick into the flaws, and that might affect my overall view of the movie, or it might raise. You never know.
Just, I think this is a movie that has some big picture things that are kind of off, but I feel like the details are actually where it shined in a weird way.
I thought so too.
Like we'll get way more into this because I know Bryce is a huge fan of practical effects.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was some beautiful practical effects, and that's not something you see in horror movies as of late, at least.
Not something we saw. Well, we saw a lot of it in The Ritual, but
Right.
the main
Just for the
monster
one,
wasn't.
yeah.
It would be tough to make that main monster.
But the
I'll give them
CGI
that.
flowed.
I bet they
liked
could.
it. But we're talking about
Right.
Veronica, so
Yeah.
Bryce, go ahead.
True. I'm gonna. Ooh, crap. So I just dropped The Last Jedi down to a 4.5, which gives me so much room with these other ones now because it's like that standard is now way down, or way up rather. So I'll give it a 6 for now, and then once because we haven't discussed the movie at all necessarily, so I'm gonna give it a 6 for now as a like if you wanted to just hear what we thought and then like a recommendation to then go see it. I'll tell you it's 6. At the end of this, it could be higher, it could be lower. Probably won't be higher than a 6, but it may not be lower than a 6. I'm just gonna tentatively throw a dart. It hits 6. Boom. There we go.
Boom.
Yep.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm probably at, I'd say like a 6.5. I'm a sucker for like camera tricks,
Cool
and things
flippy
like that.
camera.
Yeah, and so they were very creative with that, and I very respect that. So a lot of people just like to play it safe with cinematography. Despite that, there wasn't really anything original in like there wasn't a lot of like
There was
fresh.
There was.
Fresh, I should
It's
say.
not like an old. It's not like I don't know if there were a lot of like horror movie tropes in it.
Well,
That were like
that's the thing is that
there was nothing that I went.
It started,
come on.
with a
There was
paragraph of
nothing-
text
Well, it was
and then said, based on a true story.
It stuck to what's super odd is that it is based on a true story. I looked a few fun facts up. This police report apparently cited paranormal activity and stuff like that. That said, still about as formulaic as you can get in a horror movie.
Right.
Which, again, it was a well done formula. But I think that's where its big flaw comes in, is that it was just kind of, again, I don't even know how it managed to be formulaic, being based on an actual police report and some actual events in that way.
I have a theory about that. So it's Spanish, and I assume it was released in Spain. What if it's like the Spanish version of shoot, I'm forgetting his name now.
You were saying it before, weren't you?
The one with the family that had a haunting and then made it into like a big.
The Amityville Horror?
There you go. Yeah.
Wow. I'm like, what's the only horror movie you know, Bryce? Never even seen it.
But yeah, the Amityville Horror was based on a true account.
No, they get. Yeah, I guess so.
An actual account of the family, and so it got a lot of recognition. Maybe Veronica got more recognition in Spain because people were more familiar with.
Well,
that
I know
police report.
that Rotten Tomatoes gives it like a 90 or something.
Fuck
Really?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Relax.
Sorry.
Relax.
Okay.
But like all the critical.
I don't like tomatoes.
What are the critical
And when
reviews?
they're rotten.
Yeah, IMDb
Yeah.
gave it a
6.3.
6.3.
See,
Oh,
but
so that
wait,
makes
wait,
sense.
wait, wait, whoa, 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 Pat.
Whoa.
The only reviews that matters are the fucking MugCast reviews, okay?
Yeah.
All this other
You can
BS.
Google
If
all that
it
stuff.
gets a bad MugCast review, it's just gonna tank. You know, we might bring the
Yeah.
entire Netflix site down.
You hear that, Netflix?
That's what they're trying to appease.
You want to get to throw some cash our way? please?
But
Here's the thing.
So-
I have a broad topic that we can talk about later. Do you think that so they're gonna try to crank out these types of movies of like Netflix originals?
Yeah.
They're spending $1 billion on at least 100 different movies on Netflix. Do you think that this is like a good like start, or like do you think like there's gonna be
Good
more
start.
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Yeah.
ritual?
Here's the thing: it depends on what you're trying to produce. If you're trying to produce like Marvel movies or hugely successful movies,
Fucking Disney.
like Disney movies, I don't think maybe
if you're still gonna mess them up, you know.
yeah. But if you want a popular platform to bring some actors and writers and directors into the spotlight, I think Netflix is an excellent place to do that.
No, I fully agree. I think this gives some people a chance to shine.
Because they give just as much coverage on the it's
and also like Netflix is just kind of the place to look for these kind of things.
Yeah.
Like I know I scroll through the horror movies from time to time, just either for a laugh or for an actually good movie. And I'd be very happy to have just stumbled across a movie like Veronica.
Right.
But so let's actually talk about the movie.
yeah.
Sure. Well,
I thought the beginning was really well done.
Do you mind if we just do a quick synopsis? Maybe somebody has not seen it, but they don't give a fuck, and they're just kind of rolling.
Can I
through
read
the
a
podcast.
description?
Sure.
Or?
Yeah, sure. Oh, of course.
Veronica has taken care of her little brother and sister since the death of her father. One day, during a total eclipse of the sun, Veronica and two friends decide to make a Ouija board in order to invoke her father's spirit. At the very peak of the eclipse, the glass shatters. Veronica enters a kind of trance and passes out, frightening her friends. Veronica recovers and goes home. But there she starts to pick up on slight changes, objects that move, breathing in the dark, and she's still unaware of the horrific outcome that awaits her. That was from the Rotten Tomatoes website.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But so it opens up kind of at the end, and I thought it was
with the
really
police
smart.
call.
Yeah, I thought it was really smart to go full circle, because I don't know if you guys felt this, but there was like a sense of interest and panic at the same time because everything was kind of freaking me out right off the bat, and I appreciated that.
Yeah. I like how at the end all of those, like you've seen it before, and then you're like, oh, that's the mom. Oh, that's the girls, and you're like, it shows you it in the beginning, and you don't make the connection all the way through the movie until it shows you at the end. Maybe I'm just stupid, but it didn't.
No, I
didn't
totally
click with
didn't
me
either.
until. Yeah.
And maybe if someone did, it would have probably even have been better because you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen with these characters?
Yeah.
But,
Well, right in the beginning, I was so focused on that cross that was on the floor that the detective walks by.
It
And
ends up just being
I kept talking
one
about it. I'm like, oh, she picked up that cross. That cross is going to be important. Oh, I'm so excited for that cross. It's like in the background of the scene where she's running down the hallway.
It's like a
falls. And you're like,
2-second
what the-
clip
oh.
of it falling
It was
and
nothing.
walking past it.
They gave it like a close-up thing. Like as the detective walked by in the beginning, I was like, oh, pay attention to that.
Yeah.
No.
It might have
didn't
been
matter.
like
liked,
a tension tool where whenever the cross falls, you wonder, oh, is this going to be the scene where they call the police?
Right. Yeah.
Just something to recognize.
That's true.
And,
Yeah, the callback, the beginning with the call, is a little cliche, but I still think it was one of the stronger points of the movie. And cycling back to that scene, but with fresh eyes, and following the mom instead of the police officer, because that's who we have the sympathy of now. I think that was I thought that was one of the stronger points of the movie.
Well, actually, on that, I didn't really. I thought the mom was super on the side, like
Yeah.
She's in like 4 scenes.
She was in enough for us to recognize her though and know what her deal.
But that was about it. Like all I really thought was, oh, that's the mom.
Yeah.
Like because I remembered her running in, and she goes to hug her kids, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But
there was enough.
Show me the other stuff.
There was enough of an arc where she said, okay, now we'll go to the park and I'll make sandwiches, and it will be a lovely day. And so we know that's what she's feeling when she sees the car.
I took that scene almost as if she was ignoring her daughter a little bit, because she was freaking out at that point. Veronica was not, like, she was not doing okay. And her mom's just like, we'll have a picnic. It's like, we're all going to die, Mom.
Yeah.
We're going to die.
But she had no reason to believe that was really going to happen.
I guess not, but still.
It's kind of confusing. Well, so at the beginning we saw the mother with the pills, right? And she was sleeping, so we assumed that she's dealing with some sort of drug.
They're freaking out because I was rubbing the table.
Yes, and drawing some like
He
ancient
slid a mug over and then was like just like
This is the
caressing
MugCast. We have to
table.
use the mugs as well.
Yes, that's true.
I'll try to be careful.
Don't worry, I'm sure you heard every tiny microscopic.
It was not audible, and this is a weird like side thing.
Or you heard it and then we just don't address it as like, are there ghosts?
Well,
in the
it has
recording?
been addressed.
Yes.
It has been addressed.
Did you keep in episode 1 where I killed that spider?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Well, I just want to say that I don't. Although there are, you say it's formulaic and it just fits the regular like horror movie genre formula. I didn't think that there was anything in the movie that I didn't enjoy seeing. It wasn't like a fresh take on it, but it was done well. There was nothing like that with the kids acting and like, oh, this thing and that thing and the Ouija board and the old priest lady and the priest nun and
Well, actually,
it was
that-
all
there were a
done
few-
pretty well.
It was.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I
It was
thought
weird because
it-
it wasn't a fresh. You're right. It wasn't a fresh take on anything.
Right.
But like the blind nun, who was a total badass,
Right.
fucking smoking
Yeah.
stoves. And
That's one
you
of
know,
the things I thought was unique about the movie. That I've
But
never
actually,
seen a
that
blind
character's not. That type of character is
No.
totally
Oh, no,
not
yeah.
unique.
See,
but
with-
she was a
with-
neat spin on it, and I liked
Yeah,
it.
that's all you need to do with when you work within a genre. All you need to do is deliver fresh takes on the classic roles. Because if you look for a horror movie, I'm not saying you never want to see fresh things, but it helps a lot to see. Okay, she is the harbinger. She is the one who says you're going to die, and it's creepy. A blind nun is something that we've never seen before, and I found the idea of the nun being blind but still being able to detect the presence of supernatural beings cool, because when you lose your sight, your other senses increase to compensate,
Including your sixth sense.
including your supernatural sense if you're a nun.
She sees dead people.
She's like, there's even a line where she says, I thought being blind would mean I didn't know that being blind would mean I could still see them.
Although
I wish she was a more consistent character. She only had like 2 speaking scenes,
like main scenes.
and when I did research on the movie, she was like half of the like cover pictures were pictures of her. So like maybe that's hype affecting my judgment a little bit, but I think the movie had a chance to go for something iconic and didn't
How long
emphasize
was
it enough.
Can you look up how long it was?
All I'm saying is, and excuse this metaphor, or analogy because I'm very hungry. But if I make... No, we'll flip it. I make a better turkey sandwich. If Pat makes a turkey sandwich, okay, and it's fine, and then I make a turkey sandwich, we both made a turkey sandwich. It could be with the same ingredients. But mine was just fucking better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And although it's not a fresh
You always
spin,
make sandwich metaphors. They're always about
don't know what
sandwiches.
you mean.
never about sandwiches.
There are about sandwiches.
Oh, I like and I want a sandwich. But what do you mean you don't know what I mean? They made you're saying,
sandwiches
oh,
would
it's
be
it's
way fucking better
formulaic,
than
it's
yours.
cliche, they
Okay,
always do this, but like if they do this but better,
I'm saying that
you can do
went to make
those
a turkey
cliches.
sandwich with the turkey that was stuffed in the back of the fridge, and I went and like carved my own bird.
No, flip that.
Just for the sake of the analogy.
As if.
Okay.
Let's not turn this into a
Dude.
sandwich measuring contest.
Listen to me, brother. I only eat turkey sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so I know what I'm talking about.
Describe
They're
to the people
leaning
what
together
your
over
perfect
the table
sandwich is.
Okay, it's it's
perfect
okay.
Sunday.
I eat 3 of them if it's a junior Kaiser roll, and 2 of them if it's regular. But you get a Kaiser roll, okay? You cut that bitch in half, horizontal, okay? you unfold it. You take an absurd amount of mayo and you put it on the bottom and on
Slather
the
it.
top, okay? And you want to
Now,
get
is
a
that
nice
two absurd portions, or is that just one full absurd?
Listen to me. When you put it on the sandwich, okay, you don't want to be able to see that it's bread. You want a smooth layer of mayo on both sides. You then take 1 piece of deli turkey, okay, and you rip it up in your hand so that it doesn't like go over the edges of the outside of the Kaiser roll. Okay. Yes. And don't interrupt me, Ben. Okay. Then you lay. It's normally 1 to 1.5 slices of deli turkey, and then you take some iceberg lettuce because it's the only fucking shit you've got. And there aren't any other types of lettuce in the world, unfortunately.
there's
Shut up.
cream.
And you take one big fucker and you plop him on there, okay? And it's got to be the green shit. You don't want the white, like crunchy shit. You want that soft green shit, okay? And then you
literally it,
fold that up.
folks.
But here's the kicker, okay? You get some Cape Cod baked original like chips, like potato chips. You dump some of that on there. You take
Onto the sandwich.
No, onto the plate. You take 1 full. Listen to me. 1 full kosher dill pickle spear.
Jar.
No,
Pat's
just 1
head is
pickle,
in his hands.
and you put the pickle
He is
down.
massaging
okay?
his brow.
And every time, if you add an extra sandwich, you add an extra pickle, and you add a bit more chips because you're a hungry boy. Okay? You put on some fucking YouTube. Okay, and you just chill. You eat, and this is how you eat it. You go sandwich, chips, pickle, sandwich, pickle, chips, sandwich. Just to do it. Okay? It'll change your life.
with a large mug full of Diet Coke.
All right, guys, hold on. I've got an ad read. This podcast is sponsored by Deli Turkey, the best sandwich meat. All right, buy it. All right, now we're back to the podcast.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
So
we're
you guys
fresh takes.
right.
No, I was saying
Veronica.
Veronica really did follow the normal bill that we've seen of horror movies.
You just
lately.
described your ideal
That's-
sandwich too.
That's totally fine. I don't mind that. But I think again, it shined in the details. The old woman, the old blind nun, the kids being good actors instead of absolute shit.
That's true.
Antonito.
Antonito. I actually thought whatever Veronica's actress's name was, I thought she was very good.
Veronica's actress. Veronica owns that actress.
Sandra Escacina. Don't
Okay, so Sandra.
Escacena.
Now tune in
Sandy.
while 3 20-year-old white guys try to pronounce a Spanish name.
And
I
just another small thing. I loved the take on ectoplasm.
Oh, some
Gross.
creepy
Gross
ass
as
shit.
Yep, just dark stains in the shape of people.
What
Gross.
my
That was
biggest
cool.
problem with the movie is that they added all they took out the mystery a bit too quickly. I think they
Okay.
you already know you knew
Really?
like very early on what she was up against. the twist at the end was pretty good, but like you see it like on picture. Why I think the ritual, even though we're not going to talk about it yet, is because the monster like revealed itself around like near 75% near the end of the movie.
Before like the third act.
It took
Well,
its time.
Veronica sees her dad, and then we do this. You know what? It was cool, but like the Simon Says stuff, where when the blue light was on, you couldn't see him. The red light comes on, you could see him, but he was a shadow on a wall. It seems like he did a full reveal and then was being sneaky
Yeah.
throughout the
I
whole
agree.
thing. And he was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get you." And you're like, "I've already fucking seen you, dude."
Yeah.
With the twist ending, that hopefully planted the question in your head, like, what is happening? Why isn't he just appearing again? What is happening? And then the twist, which for those who don't know, spoiler alert, Veronica is the one that is hurting her family instead of the ghost of her father or a demon that she summoned with this Ouija board. And so it actually kind of makes sense that she'd only see the shadow on the wall after...
It's her fucking shadow.
It's her fucking shadow.
Okay.
Actually, that would be something I'd have to go back and look at. But I don't think you ever see the shadow and her in the same shot. Which would be kind of interesting to see if they ever gave that away. If they, like, had the shadow connect to her. But it, like, just a theory. All right, 6.8 now. If that's true.
Yeah. Well, just a warning to anyone who's eagerly smashing their keyboard to get on fucking Netflix and watch this shit. It's all, you can put English subtitles on it. So I feel like, although I won't do it, it'd be worth a second watch through. Because I don't know what I've missed, like looking down at the bottom of the screen
That's
and back
another
and
point
forth.
I have with translation.
Oh yeah.
Can I?
Here's the thing. Quick story. Let the Right One In is this vampire horror film that is critically acclaimed. And
Next podcast.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it was Swedish actually, but
Swedish?
Swedish.
Did you say that with an accent the first time?
I might have. All
right.
The fans of the movie got it on DVD, and they were pissed because at the subtitlers because they got the English subtitles completely. They butchered it. And like all the meanings of the movie got completely misinterpreted. So they re-released it with the theatrical release that had the original subtitles that apparently told the story completely differently.
Right.
So it's possible that we were getting information slightly differently than how the actual like Spanish version of it is.
Right. Well, the first time we noticed that, she said something about her village or something like that, and we went, "What?
Village?
She lives in a village?"
Yeah.
That was weird.
We also
lives in
thought she
fucking
was a
apartment in the
lesbian for
city.
most of the movie.
Okay, 2 of us thought that.
Still unconfirmed. Waiting on Veronica 2.
She's dead.
No.
Is she gonna be haunting the family across the place now? Trying to hit on their daughter?
Oh, yeah.
There was one scene in the beginning of the movie. She goes into the kitchen to wash her hands or some crap.
And she's staring at this girl
she
dancing.
looks across the way.
What do you do?
And
what do you think when
there's
you're staring at a girl dancing?
One of her neighbor girls is like doing like dancing in the living room, and she's just regular dancing,
Yeah, that was just regular dancing.
and she's staring at her, and then kind of pantomimes dancing as well, and then walks away. And for the rest of the movie, these two were like, "You know what? She's lesbian."
I wouldn't say for the rest of the movie.
Oh my god, she's totally a lesbian.
So we thought, sorry, 2 of us thought that there are all these lesbian undertones throughout the whole thing. Constantly
I thought it was
bringing
just
up.
a character trait.
Being racist.
The only thing I thought
Against
it was gonna show up in is I thought the attention, like she seemed to be a lot of attention towards her friend Rosa,
Okay.
who was ditching her. But that seemed to be more like a friend thing, which honestly didn't fit too well with the plot.
That's true.
Being ditched with her from her friend group.
Yeah.
Like, if we could talk about that scene.
And it was because she was dying. That's what I got from that.
Okay,
end
because
scene.
I thought it was comical.
What scene are we talking about?
It wasn't supposed to be.
where she
remarked on it.
where she shows up at the party and
And
goes,
she's just screaming
Rosa,
at everyone.
Rosa, and
Rosa!
I'm just like,
Where's Leia?
Yeah.
Rosa, where's Leia?
and she just
Where's
busts
Leia?
into the
Lydia,
party.
I said.
Dinah.
It's not Lydia either.
What is her name?
Deanna.
Great.
Who's Deanna?
Who's Deanna?
Yeah, and one guy's like, "Who's Deanna?" I thought like, "Oh, is it erasing them from existence now?" No, there's just some complete stranger at the party.
Boning in a corner. It's
Yeah.
fine.
She was not boning.
She was like this close.
Okay, yeah, pretty
Quite
much.
literally this.
They were
close.
15.
Pat has his
They can
thumb and
still-
index
shouldn't have-
finger
No,
very
they
close
can't.
together.
No, I mean they can still do it in the movie.
Okay.
Shut up. All right.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, hold on. Wait, I didn't want to come off as weird. Ben
No,
totally
it's
pushed
totally
me into the
fine.
street on that one. Pat said that they were close to boning, okay? Ted, don't edit this out. Stop. I know that you're clicking the button to do it right now. I'll save
Don't
it.
you
I'll
touch that
save
mouse
it.
pad.
Hold on. Pat said that they were close to boning, and Ben said they were 15. But that didn't, their age technically doesn't, it didn't matter to them in the movie.
Yeah,
the
'cause they're the same
characters,
age.
Like, half
no
of
one
them were
real
smoking.
I
was
was saying
boning.
they shouldn't be. That's true. They were smoking and drinking and stuff.
Yeah, they were smoking and drinking and stuff.
I was just saying because the guy looked older.
Move on from this, guy.
I don't want to
What
look
is
weird.
happening?
I don't want to come off as weird,
You just want to
Pat.
be like, no,
okay?
the 15-year-olds can totally bone.
It's technically true, although weird to say. Okay? I'm sorry.
And like you also said, if it's a movie. No, if it's on screen, let him bone.
It was pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
We need him. But yeah,
But no, so that scene was just kind of interesting, I guess.
I didn't like that scene because of the underage boning. Okay?
I didn't
That's
like that
why
scene.
I
Bryce
didn't
was very uncomfortable.
like it.
They weren't
Okay?
waiting until marriage.
Right.
Don't think.
Yeah.
They were drinking and having the sex
Yes.
and smoking the pot.
Yes. Taking the
I
pot.
think I saw someone shoot a marijuana.
I think
I
someone
think I
was
saw
playing
someone
cards
shoot
as
the
well.
weed. My God, they were gambling.
Yep. They were playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I may or may not
Those
have seen
little
Bill Nye the Science
Satanists.
Guy on the TV.
Oh, the ritual sounds like a tabletop role-playing session.
That's what I was saying. The occult book looked like a Dungeon Master's Manual with like the red and the white,
The
just
Veronica,
color scheme.
yeah.
And the monster thing that came out.
The coolest part of Veronica is when she, the movie, not the character, whatever.
She was pretty cool, though. She
Yo,
took care of
sure.
her family.
That's what
Yeah.
you were saying.
What's the coolest
She-
part of the
She
movie?
wasn't an idiot.
Yeah, she was
which
a
great.
competent
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, that's always entertaining. It's always fun to
honestly,
see.
except for that one scene.
Well,
in the
she
house.
didn't. I give her some credit because there's a difference between being a character that's that's a complete and utter moron, and being a character that is doing their best with not knowing what the hell is going on.
While still being in shock.
Yeah, and there's a difference where the character sort of understands and makes actively stupid decisions, and when the character makes a bad decision because of lack of information. Huge difference.
Can I draw this back to something?
Sure.
The movie It, which I don't think we did a podcast on.
No.
Which we probably shouldn't because I have way too much to say about it.
Are we going to spoil it? For them?
Why not?
Possible
No.
minor spoilers because this is a
It's been out for a while, I
Like a
guess. Yeah.
year
yeah.
old.
That's true.
They're clicking on something totally unrelated.
Spoilers for it.
What if we
contained
spoiled
within our Veronica?
Game of Thrones, like in this one?
We could
You know what I
release
mean?
like a
John
in the
dies.
description.
Eh,
We could release
Then he
like
lives.
in the
Then he
description.
bones his aunt.
We could release
for
like
the
in the
record.
description, like a list of things we discuss, and then say possible spoilers for everything on the list.
It's a lot of work.
But anyway,
we have to listen to our shit to do that.
Could always just put Game of Thrones at the top
Yep.
because it's gonna end
also
up there.
write-
Yeah.
Again,
Can
John
every
bones his
episode
aunt.
title be Game of Thrones? Because we're going to talk about it at some point.
It's a joke.
anyway,
Sorry, yeah,
Game
sorry,
of
what is-
Veronica
what is your-
Ritual Thrones. My point about it was at the point where they split up and like all go their separate ways and like stop being friends and like get into an argument and it's like, no, we're not gonna go kill it. It's one.
This is what it wants.
Yeah, this is what it wants, and
It
then
wants
and then
to
they
divide us.
and then then they're divided and they have to get the no. Now Beverly's in danger. We have to join. Like reform the group and save her. That was not only was that not in the book, it doesn't make sense because they understand that it winning means they will eventually die because it is hunting them. So that is a point of characters being morons and acting in the way the story wants them to rather than the way the characters understand. Yes.
Didn't they have to rewrite the reason that they like a conflict there because what's in the book would not fit well on an on-screen adaptation
No.
of the original It?
What happened in it is that in the book is that Pennywise turns Beverly's dad against her, and that was like the
I thought that she fucked everybody.
that came after.
Are we
Oh, okay.
gonna get
Well,
sidetracked on it right now?
Just saying, we're at 37 minutes, so if we want to make it an hour, we can change to the original.
We can make this one a little longer.
It's 2 movies.
Let's try to wrap up Veronica.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
So yeah, I give it a 5, and we're going back to the food analogy.
About my delicious turkey sandwich that Bryce just denies.
To me, it was like when you don't feel like
What? I didn't even say anything.
the looks. To me, it feels like when you don't feel like cooking and you decide to order pizza from a place you've never heard of, and it turns out to be kind of good.
Then it's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
damn good
Alright,
pizza.
okay.
I've never done that. What a risk. You can make some bad pizza. You can make some bad
Okay.
pizza.
But all pizza's
here's the thing.
decent pizza.
It was standard fare.
That's not true.
Fucking
But
what?
It was
Ever been
standard
to
fare, but
Canada?
it was fast food. It was like I
they
was
put like
I was
mayonnaise on their pizza, don't they?
Yeah.
Pickles.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh.
No, they don't. I'm
Oh
kidding.
fuck!
It was like you're not. I wasn't expecting a gourmet meal, but I got what I expected, which was something that was pretty easy to watch, pretty easy to understand, and entertaining, and had a few decent scares. About like the detail, like you said that the strength comes through in the details. I agree. There are lots of good details in this. I don't think they're connected to the main body of the piece enough to give the whole movie, to strengthen the movie as a whole. I think those details stand out because they were good and the rest of the movie wasn't as good.
Trying to add some extra little spice into the Sammy,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't fitting with the rest of it.
Yeah, see? Got to keep it simple, stupid.
Well, I'm just.
Did you like the look right at Pat? I was looking at Ted the entire time until I said stupid, and I looked directly at Pat. It was gorgeous.
Over sandwiches.
Pat's final
All right,
impressions.
motherfucker.
Yeah?
So here's
Yeah?
a turkey sandwich.
You want to come get some? You want to come get some, dude?
You want to go get some turkey sandwiches?
You can't go insane on the mayo because it's just fucking gross.
No.
You get some solid wheat bread, fresh made from the bakery in town because it's awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Turn this part up, Ted. because
My lord.
mayonnaise, Pat is whispering.
You get that bread. You get 2 nice slices, full amount on your plate. Get some mayonnaise and some black pepper. Okay. And
Disgusting.
you layer the turkey on, some cheddar cheese,
Oh, my
some
doesn't
mustard. Then you get some lettuce.
Cheddar cheese in what format? Real quick. Sliced cheese?
Sliced cheese.
Okay.
Sliced cheese. That is
not a big-
debatable.
not a
I
big
also
fan
like
of
a
cheddar.
smoky provolone.
I think the cheese has the danger to
cheese.
overpower the sandwich.
Not only is my sandwich tasty, it's safe for lactose intolerant people to eat. It's also fucking affordable. Okay,
insensitive-
we don't all have a bakery in our house. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We do have an oven.
My ideal turkey sandwich would be that's why we're at 37 minutes. We've devoted 20 minutes to describing sandwiches.
I mean, this is quality content.
Veronica's a pretty good movie. 6.5 out of 10. I stay with my original. What I was saying, what I think my thought process is on the details standing out is that, so yeah, the movie's average at like 5 for most of it, but then you get those like 8 or 9 moments, and like if you just split that deck, you end up in a 6.5.
Okay.
Passing grade.
Can I add a little thingy? Just a cool thing that happened during the movie. There's the thing Pat mentioned earlier about the ectoplasm or whatever underneath their beds, Veronica flips all of the beds over, or the mattresses over. Yeah. Let's be more specific here, Bryce. And later in the movie, they do this thing, and the glass is rolling down the hallway, and it would not do that. But she makes it to a room with the flipped mattress in it, and she like hears something, and she goes toward the mattress. And it might be I don't know if it's the beginning of that cut, or if it happens halfway through. But there's a certain point where you know that there's a jump scare coming because the mattress becomes CGI. I said it out loud. I went, "Is that mattress CGI?" And then a hand comes out of it, and I went, "Oh,
it is."
And it was the one part of the movie that was like glaringly. The rest of it was not. It wasn't like subtle scares for the rest of it, but there was nothing that I was like, "Oh, they're running this on a PS2." All of a sudden, the mattress, which is just a stagnant object.
It's like
it didn't have to be because it was just a hand.
Right, the hand comes out of it, and then the mattress gets all wavy, like fucking Freddy Krueger or something. And I was like, "Oh, what? Oh,
I don't
come
know
on."
I mean,
But then it makes up for it later when they do their creepy,
And
weird
dentist.
guy.
again, that practical effect
Dude,
of that
his
dude.
arm's like in her mouth, and you're like, "What?"
Fucking
She's
weird.
convulsing. It was a disgusting, beautiful,
Creepy dentist appointment.
creepy dentist appointment. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and it's that kind of stuff that's just like they went an extra 5 miles for that one.
And it's worth it's.
And it's
there's
absolutely worth
'cause
it.
you
And that's what I'm
you
saying. Is
see
like
it.
that moment, 10 out of 10.
Right.
Great.
And I do that a lot with movies. You see it and you go, if it's CGI, it's just not, I don't know why, but it does not impress me. If I see it, and there's that, with both CGI and practical, in the practical effects, I see it, there's the initial shock of it happening. With CGI, it's, oh. And with practical effects, it goes, up, oh, whoa, 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 oh my God, what the hell? It just doesn't do that with CGI. In this movie, I don't know why, it's a very short, like, it just camera pan past what's happening, and then when the detectives kick the door in and look, he's the dude who's got his hand down her throat is not there. But it was short, but that was a lasting impact. That was, and I think that maybe retroactively added a bit to the movie for me to actually freak me out with a visual at that point in the movie. At the very end of the movie, to freak me out with a visual is cool. I like that. Mad props movie.
Just one other thing on the end. The detective is only in at the very beginning and the very end. What do you guys think of if they had made him more of like a lasting set piece? Like
There's not much you could have done with him because it's
I don't
only
know
in
what
that
they could have
scene.
done with him, but like I didn't know who he was. I didn't know like what was up. He was obviously writing the case report at the
What
end.
kind of turkey sandwiches does he like?
What kind of turkey sandwiches?
What
does
I
he
would
like?
have liked to see
Probably
is
mine. He looked like
maybe-
a sophisticated guy.
Maybe Veronica could have like tried to go up with him and tell him that something's wrong, and it seemed kind of sketchy, so he didn't believe it at first.
Yeah, something like that.
Like when the mom calls and Veronica goes, "Oh, it was a spirit," and then the mom hangs up the fucking phone because she's like, "You troglodyte,
you fucking
You plebeian.
fucking dick." Okay, so
Ted, did you give us your...
I'm still at a 6. I
You said 6.5 before.
oh
no, it's dragon.
they
Hey, my number didn't drop.
they did some experimentation with like camera effects. I think as I said before, so I admire that. I always think it's like cool of people to like try that out. Again, like everything that was in it was something we haven't really seen before, but I think it was definitely competently done, and that's about it. I won't probably not going to see it again.
Yeah,
but,
me neither.
But it was definitely worth a watch.
right,
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it as if you want a horror movie.
Watch it with friends.
I would show this to people.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I wouldn't show it to people. I would recommend it, which I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it as a solid horror movie.
And so with that, you're at a 6. You're still at a 5.
I'm gonna I'll bump it up to a 5.1. How about that?
Okay. Do what you want, Ben.
A point one.
I'm still at a 6.5, and Bryce.
I'm gonna stay at a 6. I just don't think that there's enough to rip apart about the movie for me to have it. Like the problem with like a bigger movie like The Last Jedi is we can keep talking about each individual part because the story's so vast or
Kind of.
lack
Tries
of
to do
vastness.
too much.
Right. But in this one, it's like you're kind of dealing with one thing, and there's stuff to complain about, but it's like a cool. I'm not judging it as hard as I judge a fucking like Marvel, Disney. We have unlimited resources to put on it, but we somehow still fuck it up. This is like it's very cool, and I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna keep it at a 6. And
Cool.
I would not be mad if we give a shout out to the director and the lead cast, if we could.
Oh, sure. Who's got the mug for this movie?
Whoever the young Antonito.
Antonito.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets the mug.
Cheers to Antonito.
Antonito. Do we got a name for that little mini
There's a
actor?
lot of empty avatar heads.
Uh-oh.
It's probably not this person. Okay. Oh, Ivan Chavero?
Really?
It's Ivan Chavero.
Yeah?
Yes. Ivan Chavero. sorry.
Ivan Chavero.
Ivan Chavero.
May he have a good future.
He's gonna
he doesn't
be
have
in a
an
shitty
IMDb
Disney
page,
movie someday, so.
This is his only
He's
movie.
good. He's good.
He's pretty good. Yeah.
Cheers to Ivan.
Boom.
Cool. Clink.
Way too good.
Rest
Soften
in peace,
that
headphone users.
Soften that. please.
Just shattered your eardrums.
Well, with that,
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
The viewers
for the last
hear it
time.
coming and they brace. In every episode, they're like, no.
let's move on to the ritual.
Yeah.
Which
See, you guys notice? Look how easy it is to fucking do a MugCast podcast, okay? We could be doing these all the fucking time.
Yeah.
We could split these up into 2, wait a month, and release the second one. No, we'll do it. now.
Bryce,
Fuck it,
I
we'll
am,
do it.
do it right now.
I am officially appointing you head of the HR department.
Head of HR, fucking
Hit record.
What? Oh. Good. Thought he just got demoted.
but so
Ritual.
the ritual. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Amazing.
Can we do a synopsis at the top?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I got it.
So
Ted, come
I know,
on, man.
okay,
What
so
the hell?
I can. I'll try to do a synopsis right
So
now.
4 absolute
So-
douchebags.
Well, it starts with
No,
5 people.
Okay.
I can't remember the friend's name.
Okay. All of them are friends. So
His name is
The
Dead
one
One.
that died.
there is Hutch, Phil,
Hutch, Phil,
Dom, Luke, and Rob.
Rob.
Rob's the one that died. Hey, okay, don't whisper it into the. Say it out loud. Let's go.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, reuniting after the tragic death of their friend, 4 college pals set out to hike through the Scandinavian wilderness. A wrong turn leads them into the mysterious forests of Norse legend, where an ancient evil existence stalks them at every turn. That's from
Fuck yeah.
Google.
Yep.
Fuck
I think that's an IMDb.
Norse legend.
Yeah, I think that's IMDb.
Should we go around and give it a numbers?
After you, Ben.
I'm going to give this a solid 7.
All right.
And again, I like Bryce was saying this earlier, like for in terms of grading, like it's not like anything below a 6.5 fails. The middle of the scale is like anything above a 5 is in good territory. Anything below a 5 is like a 4 is bad, a 3 is bad. Like anything below a 5 is it's bad and here's why.
Yeah. Basically, if it's less than 5, at least for me, I'm not recommending it.
Yeah.
If it's less than 5, there's something egregious about it, and if it's 5 or above, it's certainly watchable.
Oh yeah.
It's
That
at a,
said, I give it an 8 out of 10. I liked this one a lot. I don't know. There wasn't anything that wrong with it. I've been trying to think of any direct issues I had, but I can't really think of anything too big, and so I really appreciate it. I like this movie.
that like a lot of generic movies will have its plot holes. Maybe I should save this until after Ted and Bryce do their thing.
Did you have something else to say about your 7 out of 10?
7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't think it was the best movie I've ever seen, but I think it exceeded my expectations, and I was impressed by it.
Yeah, just real quick, what would give one of your 10 out of 10 movies.
Hot
Hot
Fuzz is up there.
fucking
Yeah, Hot
Fuzz,
is up
dude.
there.
Is it really?
Dude,
I can't
I
think
give
of a
Hot
single
Fuzz a
thing
7,
wrong with
man.
it.
What?
I love Hot Fuzz, but it's not.
I can't
that
think of anything wrong with it.
great.
It's 10 out of 10s are fucking rare. A
Dude.
10 out of 10 is a movie I would literally watch at any point.
Out of Africa.
Hot Fuzz every time.
Saving Private Ryan might be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. See.
I'm a slasher.
Okay. So
must be
that's an issue
Crusty
because I can't. Out of Africa is a phenomenal film.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
We should watch it and do a podcast about it because it's great.
Okay.
But out of Africa is also 3.5 hours, I think.
So it's like I like Blood Diamond.
Yeah.
It's
You
a
can't
day.
watch it all.
Yeah, it's a day.
You have to watch it and
Say
determine I'm gonna
say
watch
goodbye to
Blood Diamond
Sunday.
on Saturday. What's the Deer Hunter?
The Deer Hunter.
Deer Hunter.
Another movie that is great but is also 3 hours.
Yeah.
I can't put the frequency with which I would like to watch it in my categorization because I can't sit down and just be like, I'm gonna watch Out of Africa or The Deer Hunter. It's
We
like,
should do
no, you're fool. You have work to do.
Yeah.
We should do a MugCast where we just talk about we pick one or two favorite movies and we talk about why.
I agree.
Yeah. I would rate. I'm probably just because getting off the high of watching it right now. I'd give it like a 9.3.
Really?
Ish.
That's up there.
I think it was very everything that I was hoping out of a horror movie was put in it. Like the woods gave you such a sense of dread with each shot and all the imposing and also everything that led them to do what they were doing made sense. They're not just doing it for the movie. He broke his leg, so they have to go through the woods. They had a direction, but there was a path that was made by the creature, assumingly, so that led them to go off the trail.
Right.
I loved. Well, I'll save it. I'll save it for a minute.
I don't know, just everything in the movie especially compared to Veronica, everything was just very well imposing sense of dread. And it captured that idea of this forest being an antagonizing character in itself.
I would
Very
just
good.
say to that, I thought there was. It's hard to keep what Veronica wanted, which I think was panic. I mentioned that at the very beginning. Is it immediately is there's this panic involved in everything, but it's hard to keep that in a movie. Dread, a little easier, I would say.
True.
Just to be fair, I think to have your setting install I don't want them to turn the corner instead of being having you freak out with the character is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'd probably give it a 7.5 with a little plus sign after it. I haven't had
Viking stuff.
yes, and I haven't had a ton of time to digest it. We finished it.
That's true.
However
just now.
long this podcast is, that's how long ago we finished
40
it.
minutes.
40 minutes ago, right? And we spent 40 minutes trying to remember Veronica, so I'm a little bit diluted here. So I'm gonna say that it was really good, and I can tell by the amount that I would lean, although it was intense, with that I would lean forward off the couch just to get a better
I noticed
idea of
that,
what was
yeah.
happening.
I noticed you leaning forward at times when things got
Right.
tense.
Yeah, and then because I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and then the moment something would get whoa, I'd just lean back and be like, "Fuck," and then all of a sudden something else would happen, and I'd very quickly scramble to lean back forward again. Oh, and a creepy old bitch got dropped, and that gets you.
We all
Called
cheered
that.
when that happened.
That was the kind of thing. So, the main character Luke is trapped in this house. He's
By
ran from the
cultists.
creature with Dom, his only friend that's left at this point, and now he's been captured by the cultists. And there's this old creepy Swedish woman who's giving him water, and it's the weirdest thing, but. He finally escapes. He's about to escape and face the monster, and she stops him at the base of the stairs and is just staring him down.
In your head, you go, "I would just punch this bitch in the face."
Yeah.
What the fuck happens?
You just boom in the face, dude. That's
And
the
it
cool
cuts
thing about
away.
the movie. It's not oh, dude, I'd freaking take an axe and hit that thing in the face, and then he does, and you're like, oh, okay,
Fantastic.
sweet.
Great.
Or like he grabs that gun, and I'm just like, yup,
Yeah.
yup.
It was pretty Swedish.
He doesn't run. He stops and he takes a shot. That's
Okay, that was a huge gamble. Because if he hedges, he dies. He got no fucking idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd risk it. I'd do it too.
Yeah.
Take a shot.
One of the things I liked about that last sequence was how much venom was in Luke
Yeah.
at that point. I think that's what got him away, is that he wanted to fucking beat the thing.
Yeah.
But so, actually, that brings me back to the very beginning in the scene where,
Luke being the main guy, I think. We
yes, Luke
established
is
that.
the main character.
Dom is dude with the twisted leg.
Who's that?
Yep, he's a little bit overweight and he has glasses. Phil
Nerd.
is the dude. He's more of an olive complexion of a gentleman, and
Dark white.
dark white.
white.
And
White.
he's the guy who wakes up like naked, praying to the idol or
Love that
whatever.
detail.
Rob's the dude who gets bodied in the beginning of the movie, and Hutch is the dude that seems to know everything for some reason.
Until he dies.
Well, he's very adamant about...
I think he
what
just had a leading
he's-
kind of personality, and that's
Right.
kind of what we saw.
Yeah.
But so back to
Alpha.
the beginning.
Sorry.
Poor Rob dies.
We
and
were-
don't
nobody
get to
was
know him very
expecting
well.
that.
That was a fucking brilliant start.
Yeah.
I gotta
And
say.
it's set up a lot actually, because first of all, this scene they go into a liquor store because Luke wants a bottle of vodka, and the store's being held up, and these two, I think they labeled them
Junkies.
junkies.
Yeah, they're junkies in the subtitles.
Yeah. They end up killing Rob, but only after Luke has been cowering behind a shelf for so long.
Right.
A couple things they set up. Luke is has a cowardice within him,
They
and
should've.
also they're willing to fucking body people
Yeah.
really brutally.
The movie is, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh snap, man! Like that first strike on Rob made me cringe. It was
Yeah.
very good, but it also said so much about Luke that I appreciated it.
It was a cool thing where later on in the movie when Dom confronts him about like what happened in the liquor store, when he says something about like now he's got fight in him or something like that, and he said he's like, you know, we're here all because like you wouldn't get up, like stand up or something like that. And later in the movie when the bastard son of Loki is pushing him on the ground,
Which is the monster.
right?
Yeah.
It
Which
was
I have a few notes about the monsters.
Yeah.
right. It was one of those things where that, and I like when the movie doesn't do that for me, where they play the line again. But I was playing that line in my head where it was like, "We're here because you wouldn't stand up," and then they kept telling him, "You will kneel, you will kneel," and he's like, "Fucking what, mate?"
Bend your knee.
Yeah, and guess what? He doesn't do fucking kneel.
I thought,
You know who
Face
else
with an
wouldn't
axe.
kneel? Fucking Stannis
Stop.
Baratheon.
Oh my god.
Let's
Not
go.
in- just ask Google
I'm
Home.
kidding.
The, it was kind of hard to relate it to like the death, his friend dying. Obviously, he wanted to make that arc where he ends up saving somebody. He didn't end up saving anybody. So I'm trying to figure out, especially when they made it very clear with the flashback when he sees him on the other side of like the ground.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what made him like what that decision was that relates back to that. Is
He
that him-
says to Dom. Dom says, "I'm gonna die here," and he says, "You're not going to." What does he say? I can't lose another one or something like that.
Something like that.
Something
let that
along
happen or
those-
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. You're the only one left. I can't lose.
Yeah. Meaning it all started when he didn't save his friend Rob, and then his friends have been dying in sequence throughout the movie.
No, I think that's actually a pretty cool thing with the very end when he's just screaming at the monster.
Yeah.
Because, and I agree, maybe someone should have lived, someone else should have lived, but he.
I thought he was
Kind
gonna. Oh wow! I just interrupted you like fucking hell. I didn't mean to. I was really hoping that he'd save Dom. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. Maybe that's just one of the problems with the movie. Whatever. But I thought that was an interesting, like, finishing to his story, because it did feel finished. It just maybe didn't feel like the right end.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
There's a lot of ways it could have gone.
Yeah. I don't know how he would have, like, how they would have written it so he saved Dom, but
I just thought it would be a more interesting ending if two of them made it out, because they were the two most at odds, and
Yeah.
Dom was clearly the person that you thought was going to die first.
True.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So if having him save him would be...
Yeah, it would have been a cool, like, when you think about that movie, it'd be like, oh, that was a little different. You know, it is. It's already a little different.
Yeah.
But it was a neat. It would have been a neat thing to see, and it would have avoided that horror movie trope of, yeah, 5 friends go to Billy's dad's cabin in the woods to fuck.
They literally
And then-
found a cabin in the woods.
It's actually...
I don't know what
I
there's
was
so much
wondering if,
teenage fucking in this episode. I'm sorry.
I was
don't know why. I keep going back.
I
to
really
it.
was wondering if this was going to have any kind of happy ending. Because, again, they set it up very quickly that they're just willing to just cudgel some motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so they're in the prison room, and I'm like, how the fuck is this going to work out?
He breaks
He
his thumb.
breaks his own goddamn thumb.
Did you see me cringing like 3 cuts before
No, I
he did
didn't,
it?
because-
the moment he put
yeah,
his hand on his thumb, I went like no, and then they decided to they draw it out, dude. They're like, we cut back to this, we cut back to him. He's like
And he's
preparing.
like, come on. Yeah, no, I didn't see you cringe because I was also cringing.
I didn't realize he was going to do it until I heard the snap.
Oh, he put his head up against the wall and he's like, oh god, oh god.
And they must have taken the bottles away at some point. There must have been some sort of way that he couldn't have just done, because he was so specific about it. You know, the friend. Like,
Yeah, get the bottle on that table, see if you can reach it and
smash
smash
it,
it
and
and cut the ropes. This is a 5-step program.
And
I mean, if we were in that situation and you went the bottle, and I went what? And you were like, get the bottle, and I'm like, why? It would be a horrible. And then they kick the door open, and I'm like mid trying to grab this bottle, and they just beat me to death because you weren't specific.
yeah.
Now's not the time to be made fun of for being overly descriptive.
Yeah.
It's like, describe that shit, okay?
And a lot of time,
Get the green bottle next to the thing.
green bottle,
on the
that
tray.
one right there. Da-da-da. A lot of time passed.
Reach it with your
between
foot and see if
the
you can
time-
smash it, and then, yeah.
A lot of time passed between when he came back all beaten and bruised and when he came out for the final sacrifice.
It was
so,
probably an entire night.
yeah, so he might have had time to do something.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh god, but he broke his own thumb.
So
Can we fuck?
So, about this actor, I think he's a good actor.
I like him.
I think
like
he's
him.
a good boy.
Thought he was pretty good.
I think he does the same facial expression for too many situations.
I didn't notice.
It's a good expression.
Honestly,
It's
whatever
like
his face was
sad.
doing fit.
Yeah,
So
but
I
I think
didn't really-
that's the problem, is that his face, that expression is too broad and fits in too many situations. I did not know, like, the same fearful and then sad and then almost guilty for being afraid. It's good. It had a lot of complexity to it, but it was the same face he made when he had the same face when he was hiding from the muggers in the beginning of the movie, and then he had that expression when he was lighting fire to screaming corpses, and it was just like,
Yeah, what was that about?
he was like. and then he was watching them burn and scream, and that had the
Ben's
same,
making the face.
Yeah, the face. Maybe we can put pictures in or something. But
No,
like,
for
That was weird.
When you
Fuck.
when you put it up on YouTube, you can do that, Ben. You get no pictures. Just try to picture it in your head,
get
okay?
or
Just try to picture it.
watch it
Well,
on Netflix.
that was an interesting scene because I don't know how the fuck he thought that. Maybe actually, and this is another thing that I'd have to go back and
Oh, he
look
thought,
at.
what? Who?
No, what?
In the scene where he burned down the cabin,
Draugr.
and he went. It wasn't though. They were like
I
weird.
think they are
straw
actually
people.
Draugr. I think they are actually Draugr though.
I was hoping the one
like
like on the
Nordic undead,
throne,
basically.
like at the end of the thing, would like look up at him. It did not. It was by far like the coolest designed, and that's the one that you went. you went Draugr. And I was like, oh, that one right there.
Like
I'm
that's actually
yeah.
what they are. Is like
Force.
that is a
Nordic.
a Nordic
Yeah.
zombie.
Yeah.
But no, I like and they were chanting, and they were apparently what beat the shit out of Dom.
Yeah, did he not like?
that'd
but
be
like,
terrifying.
are you okay?
Oh,
That's-
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ew.
What?
And you
Those
just
were the
hear
things
it.
that were going the whole time. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Dom didn't say, "Oh, by the way, there's a bunch of dead people upstairs."
It was honestly a
Jesus.
side detail at that point.
Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh.
he had just got it. He was just finished with being tortured. By
I
them.
remember what he said is like, "I'm gonna die. You're gonna get out of here. That's okay. Like, just make that happen."
Okay.
And so I think that was
I can see
more
why he
important
wouldn't
for
talk about it.
that's more important for Dom to say than there's some weird zombie heads up there.
Yeah.
I also like that they stopped chanting when Luke got up there. It
We're not
like
doing
literally thinking about it. It
We're just
felt
sitting
like
here.
they literally like, "Oh, everyone, shut up!"
It's like Toy Story.
Yeah, they turned back to it again.
And then then he started lighting them on fire. And they're like, "No, shut up! We can't move."
Mission's been blown.
Okay, let me. So we're not gonna get too far into it, okay? But I mouthed a word to Pat. Is this stupid to bring up? Should I stop now, or is it valid?
You can always make a point about it.
Good. Hell yeah, Ted. If you cut this out, I'll find it.
I know where you live.
Ben just mentioned that this actor used too many similar or the same facial expressions to express too many different emotions. Okay? Now,
But you got
here's
them.
something that I can disagree with Ben about. Okay? Sometimes the character or the actor doesn't outwardly express their emotions all the time. So you have to be looking a lot closer. Stannis Baratheon. I mouthed the word Stannis to Pat while I went Stannis, like up into the sky. All I'm saying is I don't ever. There's sometimes where the actor isn't acting, and you're like, well, why didn't he not react to that, or why did she not react to that?
I didn't think he
don't
wasn't
believe so.
acting.
Right? No, I'm. Let me finish, and I'll save you. There's times when they're doing that, and then there's times where their character or the actor doesn't like outwardly express that. So like they don't see the monster and go, whoa! Like they see the monster and go, you know what I mean? And it's still the same emotion. It's just not like I'm very loud when I'm with you guys, but in general, I'm not like I'm pretty shy, right? So I don't really do all of the gesticulation and all the stuff when I'm not in a situation with the three of you. So for a character to be like that in like a movie or something, I don't think it's bad.
And that's
I
not
think it's
always
kinda
an
cool.
acting choice. That's sometimes a directing choice as
True.
well.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I guess.
Either
They can
way.
tell you to make a
Because
specific.
the director's telling you what's happening.
Right.
So they'll be like, all right, you can tell them if they want to completely freak out or if they just see something and they're filled with dread.
Right. Well, because when he goes up into that clearing and the first time he sees the thing, and it looked like a big tree that moved or whatever, which is another cool thing about the monster design. Every time the camera would look at the woods, you're sitting there and you go, yeah, it's a bunch of trees, and then something would move and you go, wait, oh, was it standing there the whole time? I didn't get to see the monster at all
two
until
things on
way at
monster.
the
I
end.
bet it was
There's
in a
one
lot.
scene like dead center in the movie when it's Phil, Dom, and Luke that are left, and you see it move in the background. Was that real? Was that a real thing? Was that a CGI?
Oh, no, it was
little
definitely
thing?
CGI.
Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't
I
quite
think
tell. It
everything-
was foggy. I was kind of hoping they had a giant weird stag thing.
Dude, if they had a giant weird stag thing, this would be a 10 out of 10. Okay?
But so
I'm telling you.
I would
The movie
have
put it over
upped
the
my
top.
score. If
the
it
movie
wasn't
Alien
CGI.
I actually just watched it earlier
Yo,
today.
wait, can I just pop something in really quick? There's a new show coming on at AMC that's from Ridley Scott, where they're up in like ice water, in like the north. They're on like a ship.
Yeah.
I forget what it's fucking called.
I
but
can't remember what it's called
it
either.
looks-
It's got Mance Rayder in it.
Yes, yep. That I'm watching that. Okay,
I'm very excited.
Sure.
about that.
We will talk about it on this podcast. Okay, if it's from
But
Ridley
so,
Scott.
The
watch it.
movie Alien. It's probably my favorite sci-fi movie. The way they handled.
Sorry, no, I had a private thought. Go on. It was about the mug of the movie.
Secrets. But the way they handled the alien in that was the most beautiful thing.
The original.
The original Alien, yeah. Yeah, the rest of them are kind of...
Yeah. It's a lost art, dude.
Yeah, and you see a tail or a claw or, like, the most beautiful scene. It's towards the end of the movie, so you're like, what the fuck does this thing look like? Sigourney Weaver is hiding, and she's just, like, freaking out, but the thing is, like, right up next to her, and its tongue comes out, and you're like, oh, no. Like, everything about this is the worst.
Yeah.
They managed it in this movie quite well. You see you kind of get hints of it with the weird statue.
Yeah. And they describe it. They're like,
hands.
it's big.
They're like, it's...
But that's all they can fucking
all
say.
they say.
You see
And I
antlers
actually would have
occasionally.
appreciated if the writing had been like, I don't know, man, there was like a horn or something. Like,
They're trying to make
they
out
were
something.
saying something about it, so you could be like, I don't know, what the fuck?
Well, half the time they didn't even believe... Well, they don't believe Luke in that scene. Dom tries to tell him, shut the fuck up. When he's
But,
trying to
like,
describe
when Phil is freaking out because it just took
Hutch.
Hutch, he could have said something other than, I don't know, man, a shadow.
Yeah, I don't know what I saw.
Yeah, it's
like,
like
yeah,
you could have
it was
said
just
anything, like
Anything.
anything.
It did seem to
But
have
so,
some sort of...
all the same, they managed to put just little pieces of it. There's one scene right when Phil dies where it pops out of a tree, and for a honest to God, maybe 2 frames, you can see it popping out of a tree, and I was just like, no, bring it back. Like, I need to see it. I need to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was never looking in the right spot.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
And
they
I
made
don't
it
think
up.
you're
That's
supposed to
true.
be. I think you're supposed to be like,
Supposed to be
ha! Like,
scrutinizing.
freaking out at the TV.
Blair Witch Project, which I know it's a found footage film, whatever, but it terrified most people. You never saw the whatever it was. Like, even at the very end, you see this person, like, hiding in the corner, and then it cuts. Like, you never, ever see... So it's always left to the imagination, and that's what terrified people a lot. And also, with the practical effects thing, technically, it should be easier as time goes on, because we're improving our technology and making things more realistic and immersive. So there's just kind of this spike in CG, but...
I'm never saying that there's good CG, but so like good CG, like Jurassic World. Here's my issue. It's good. I don't have any complaints about how it looks. It doesn't look not computer generated though. You can't get, especially because the guy who did before Jurassic World came out, the guy who did the original animatronics for the original Jurassic Park died. So to pay homage to him, pay homage,
Either one.
yeah. They put an actual, there's like a brontosaurus or something that got, and it's dying, and they walk up and they actually put their hands on it and everything because it's real. It's the only animatronic in the movie. Well, then it just made a huge contrast between the fucking CGI dinosaurs and the practical effects dinosaurs. I just think you can't fake it looking like it's there the way you could fake it looking like it's there when it's actually there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the CGI doesn't look bad. Not in this movie, The Ritual. The CGI doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it's not CGI. You can. I don't think we'll eventually technology will hit a point where we'll be able to do amazing, incredible things. Right now, I don't think that there's enough money to put at CGI to make it look better than practical effect. I can't do it. I can't say that it's possible.
Yeah. Well, I think the monster right at the end was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
It fit
design.
really, the design
Yeah.
was
Can I say something about the movie?
No.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
monster only.
What do you think this is? A fucking podcast about the movie? You can't just say what you want.
This is not necessarily a bad thing because I think some of the best ideas are simple. The shot where we first see the whole monster, and it's like an elk, but it's almost a centaur without a head.
Yeah.
And its head has arms, and it's carrying a body, and it's silhouetted by the burning village. That
Gorgeous.
almost sums up the
Isn't he gorgeous?
That's it. That seems like the concept art that the director would bring to the executive producer.
I would buy a video game if they showed me that picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you could sum up the entire story in that picture.
Yeah.
Not like you couldn't sum up the whole details with the characters and them what brought them there.
Yeah.
But that's not the important part in a horror movie.
Okay.
That's not the part you see in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So I think it was inspired, and I think that's a good way to put it. I think they had an idea for this monster,
Right.
and then they wrote a story around that, and a lot of the other stuff was like colored.
Yeah.
And it was colored well, which is why I think a 7. Now that I think about it, might put it up to a 7.5.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like an episode. It had an actor from Black Mirror, so maybe I'm judging it by Black Mirror standards. It almost seemed like someone had an idea for an episode of a individual horror show,
Right.
like an episode of a horror show that got fleshed out into a movie, and they added details that they wouldn't have been able to, and lots of shots of them walking, and like they stretched it out a little bit, but not unnaturally.
Right.
So it didn't change the way I look at the horror genre. It didn't change the way I look at Nordic mythology.
Yeah, it just made
Yeah,
me
I
want
wonder
to
if this is
look
based
at more
in
Nordic
anything.
mythology.
I didn't even think about that.
It seemed to just be a cool looking monster, a creepy,
What
creepy
are the
premise.
things? The Jotuns?
Yeah, Jotuns,
is, yeah.
trolls, monsters.
I
So
wonder
the-
if this is based on a real myth.
Well, here's the thing. If that girl is right and that creature is actually a god and it's actually the bastard son of Loki, it's all good in the hood, dude. If you get bodied, you're going to fucking Valhalla, dude. Why would you care anymore?
Well, what even would that be?
Unless it's
It just-
Helheim.
it just
because
proved
he got
the-
killed
oh,
by
shit,
one
yeah.
of the-
Oh, never mind.
Wait, what?
Unless it's Helheim.
She just-
he gets killed by a demon.
And that's if you trust her, though. But she just fucking proved the existence of God. So, like, really, it's all good, dude. You're fucking fine. Okay? Now you're going to hell because you bopped an old lady in the head and blasted some fucker.
No,
so,
I don't think
Axe
you go
the
to
way
hell
at it.
for punishing the weak.
Oh my god.
what?
Okay.
What?
That doesn't seem like a Viking mythology.
Oh, okay. I was going to
you-
say.
If you're weak, you go to hell.
If you go up to
If you die from a punch in the face.
attack her, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, she's so weak."
No, I feel like
Odin
the Vikings would be
From
like,
his fucking clouds, it's just like that guy.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
just some
that
old ladies or your groceries go flying. And you're,
Yeah.
you're weak. You're weak.
just go around punching senior citizens, hoping I get to Valhalla.
God. Yeah. She bought a ham at the deli, and you don't fucking do that near me.
No, they bought turkey at the deli.
No, she bought ham. That's why she was
Oh,
weak.
so I have an ad read
Oh, I see.
for
Oh, okay.
deli ham.
No, we will never be sponsored by deli
For
ham.
ham. I was trying to combine Helheim and ham. Helheim. Hamheim.
Put up the gates to Helheim.
Should we give them do final scores and give out Mug of the Week?
Yeah, we could wrap it up. See, this is the weird thing. We watched Veronica, and I mentioned because we'd have to double this one up because I didn't have too much to say about Veronica because it was fine. This one though could have been a whole
Oh yeah.
podcast.
Yeah,
is the problem.
Oh, we didn't expect that.
Right? Yeah, which is just
fine.
great.
Maybe
That's
we could do a
great.
follow-up.
Yeah.
Maybe we could
Chances are we'll talk about it in another podcast.
might have we might have a short. Next podcast we'll like briefly
Probably. Yeah.
get our thoughts on.
The problem is you don't want to have to make these sequential where someone has to.
Oh, true.
Shut up! Shut up!
The second shut up.
Well, because my voice cracked and you heard me go, "Ugh," and then Ted goes, oh, he goes to make fun of me. I already
every
prefaced it with a, if I
already addressed it, Ted.
Yeah.
You don't need to make fun of it.
Shut up! Shut up!
Fuck you, you fucking dick.
Shut up, you
fuck
freak!
you're a freak. Shut up, you freak. You're a freak. You fucking invent something like inward singing. I can sing like that all fucking night.
Yeah.
Little pauses in between.
Oh, shut up! It is nonstop. And the other thing is, when I'm singing in, it sounds even better than when I'm singing out. Shut up! Fuck you, you fucking dick. Always naysaying. Everything I create. Anyway,
What were you saying when your voice cracked?
I don't remember.
Something about podcast episode sequential.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to make them too sequential so that someone has to watch every single episode.
Yeah.
I'm being very careful with my voice here. It's to watch every single episode. So maybe if one person listened to this all the way through and they want to know what else we think, send us an email.
Yeah. Well,
At what
Definitely.
is the email?
It's MugCast.
Fuck. The email will be
MugCast at
in
gmail.
the description.
Mug-
No, I think
Cat.
it's Mug. I think it's. I had to make it MugQuest. Somebody had MugCast
What?
at gmail.com. Somebody fucking took our shit. Okay, so it's MugQuest, which is the show that hasn't come out yet. Stay tuned. I think it's MugQuest at gmail.com. If it's not, double check in the description. If you are so inclined to send us an email, I personally, Bryce, the fan favorite, will respond to you. Also, if you want any
Also,
tips on
votes
making
on
a turkey
sandwiches.
sandwich, yes. If you want to weigh in on the sandwich debate, do you like delicious, affordable,
break down your
family-friendly
sandwich
meals?
one more time, real quick.
Okay, here you go. Ben almost protested, but
I did. What did I?
you made a noise that sounded like,
When?
"Oh, great, here we go." You just
No. I haven't gotten to say my ideal turkey sandwich.
Yeah, because nobody.
right.
I mean, sorry, buddy. Everybody cares about your sandwich.
No, that's fine. I can see this is a two.
Do you want me to go through my sandwich again?
Yes.
Twice and a Ted is give me a green light.
What if I rewind and then mayonnaise and then okay, just quick.
Okay, quick. Okay, so you get a regular Kaiser roll. You cut that bitch in half, horizontal. Okay, you take a decent slather of mayo and you put it on the bottom to get a nice layer of mayo, and you put it on the top to get a nice layer of mayo on the inside of the sandwich, mind you. Okay?
Well, that's good enough.
Also on the inside of the sandwich, you take one slice of deli turkey, regular deli turkey. It could be butterball. I get this weird like healthy ones shit or some crap. Nothing honey glazed or anything. You piece of shit. You put regular turkey in that, okay? And you're not a piece of shit. You're amazing, and vote for my sandwich. Then you take iceberg lettuce
This is
and
about the
slap
hard
that
truth
on
of
there.
life, Bryce. This sandwich is.
Yeah, it's like you don't got the monies, so you got to get this sandwich. You know what I mean?
You don't get the money, so you can't get the honey's glazed.
And you know
Yeah.
what?
But wait, whoa. And then the garnish that you eat, so it's not garnish, is you get some baked. I get a Cape Cod brand sponsor. Original potato chips, baked. And you dump that shit on a plate next to your savings ham, and then you get a kosher dill pickle spear, and and you put it on the plate. And if you want to double up on pickles, you know what? Dude, treat yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Just gonna rewind.
At a cost.
Fast forward.
Well,
Then this will.
Do we?
I
No,
think
you failed.
that you folks are a little classier than that sandwich. If I'm being honest.
See, it was a
Get
compliment and an insult
some
at the
nice-
same time.
Get some nice wheat bread from your local bakery.
Oh my God! Take forever with the sandwich.
Yeah. You slather that with just a light touch of mayonnaise, just to get some hearty calories into your sandwich. Sprinkle some cracked black pepper on it, fresh, because you're worth it. Get some leftover Thanksgiving turkey or any off the bone turkey. Layer that on your sandwich. Top that with either some smoky provolone cheese or some cheddar cheese, depending on your preference. I want to give you options, folks.
So
are
are you
no
saying this is so off the bone turkey here?
Oh yeah.
Come
So-
on!
so if
I
we
gotta
don't
go
have
hunt
deli-
my own turkey. Fuck, man! I just want to eat. Can
So
I?
are you saying this is the type? If you like, are you saying this is the the best turkey sandwich?
This
Or
is
the turkey sandwich,
optimal turkey sandwich.
Like, you will not eat a turkey sandwich unless it is this.
You can cut out his whole sandwich both times, okay?
This is
Both
the optimal turkey sandwich.
times.
If you have to go,
So it's not what you can do
if you have
all
to
the
go
time.
with some cold cuts, by all means, that is all right. I actually recommend some honey glazed.
No.
Because
No,
you
come
are
on.
worth it.
You're going to put honey and mayo? Come on.
And mustard.
Oh, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're ruining
I like a
it.
good
I'd just
mustard.
like to recap Bryce's sandwich in my own words real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Too much mayonnaise,
Okay.
turkey, lettuce, bread.
Oh, I'm hungry. Let's go. Give me that.
See, I won't go through my whole
Oh,
sandwich thing.
Ted goes to close it out desperately.
This is the separate sandwich podcast. Well,
This is
if
for
any of
Patreon
you ever
donors.
wonder
We could
why
release
the
this
Veronica
separately.
and Ritual
This is for
podcast.
Patreon donors only.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
sandwich.
We would need to make regular
special
content
sandwich.
for anybody to pay for it.
Anyway, you guys left out two crucial details that I think makes every sandwich better.
Do tell.
Lightly toast the bread and cut it in half. That's
No.
Toasted. You gotta make it toasted though.
No.
You gotta get
just lightly, just enough to get that crisp.
See, I
already
appreciate
crisp.
that.
It's
You
what
don't want it to get all
lettuce is for.
soggy. You can't get it soggy.
Yeah, that too. The
Get it
regular bread
soggy.
gets soggy with all the mayonnaise.
No, it doesn't. Dude, have you seen...
Actually, mayonnaise.
Well, you did
toasts
specify a Kaiser
very
roll.
Ah,
Yeah,
there you go.
you know the Kaiser roll. It's so thick that you're like, you gotta squish that
It's
bitch
a-
down
it's
to
a
fit it in
thick
your
boy.
mouth. Dude, it's a big boy.
It's a
Okay?
thick boy.
Can you repeat the part where you said you gotta squish that bitch down to fit it in your mouth?
Yeah, that's what I
For-
said.
Okay.
I have a burger little recipe thing or
Okay.
a set of toppings.
Dude,
Is it a turkey?
We talk about
burger
movies
now.
on this
It's a
podcast, mostly,
monologue.
just so you know.
I printed out into a monologue for an audition.
Okay,
Did you really?
Okay. It wasn't a flat shell burger like McDonald's. It had substance. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. There was a lot of ground beef to the sandwich, like most boring millennials get. I'm like most boring millennials get burgers cooked medium. Not a lot of red, not charcoal, but a nice juicy ratio. Of course, they marinate that savory slab of cow with some teriyaki sauce. It added just the right amount of sweetness to it. No. No teriyaki sauce. No. All right. Blanketing the beef with some sharp cheddar cheese, and like sharp, like not Parmesan sharp.
Teriyaki
No.
and cheddar. I could like.
Contrast. It's a bit too flavorful. Okay,
Stop
but also
now, Ted. Just stop now.
caramelized onions and
I wanna hear
horseradish
it.
on a Kimmelek roll.
Okay, no. I'm about to school you on a burger, okay? You get some regular ass burger bun, you put a fucking burger on it, you put mayo on both sides of the bun, you eat that bitch, okay? That's what you get. And you will like it.
Put
You
ketchup
really
on it?
should get that Canadian citizenship.
They eat good shit up in Canada, okay?
They put mayonnaise on their burgers.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all they do.
good.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good.
it's perfectly
If you
fine,
wanna
I'm just
put a
saying.
big piece of iceberg lettuce on that
Those
burger, you
Canadians,
can do
they
it.
put mayonnaise on their burgers.
Yeah,
which
but
is
it's
fine.
generalized,
They probably call it
okay?
mayonnaise because they're all French up there and shit.
No, they're not. Actually, I get into arguments all the time because I always want mayo when I'm up in Canada, and for some reason, my grandparents only have Miracle Whip. There's a difference. Come on.
Absolutely.
Gross. Okay, you know what, dude? Give me a handshake for at least agreeing on that. You know what I mean? We can all come together under
How
the
bad
Lord.
Miracle Whip is.
Right. Ew. It's like tangy. Why
It's
would I
like
want
weirdly
that?
sweet.
Oh,
What are you
no.
doing?
I
I just
get
want
that.
my fat.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by Miracle Whip.
No, fuck you.
Fuck you,
Unless you
Miracle Whip.
really want
Hellman's,
it.
bitch.
Unless you know what, dude, if Miracle Whip wants to sponsor the podcast, I will not be filmed eating any of your shit, but I'll pretend like it's good, okay?
Comes in.
Watch the one person
is
that
like,
actually
we need
listen
a
to this all the
milk.
way.
The
Be a
CEO of Miracle Whip.
It's like, I love these guys.
what the hell? Like, episode 2 was so mean. Like,
No, then they call us up. It's like, guess what? I don't like it either. Thank you.
I don't like
It's
it
so
either.
refreshing to be able to reveal my true feelings. I have to put on a face at every board meeting.
That's our email. Our fan email is from Miracle Whip. It's just 2 words. Fuck you. And we're like, oh,
No, it's,
lost a sponsor.
The Ritual was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, let's get. All right, so we
Ted,
get all
I
of our
give you
final
permission.
scores.
This could be cut it out and make it a separate
Please
thing.
cut this out.
Please cut it out.
So it's.
Don't delete it.
Save it.
We'll still release
Save for
this.
later.
Yes.
So can I make a proposal?
Is it?
Instead
Sandwich
of say giving someone like the
not
mug of the
ready.
week,
Yeah.
why don't we make the phrase like we raise our mugs to a particular character?
From each movie, who wins?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Because
yes.
this isn't weekly.
No, it isn't. Yeah, so that's why raising our mugs is a mug,
Mug of the
The
last
mug of the cast.
3 or 4 months.
mug of the cast.
Mug of the cast.
Mm.
Mug of the
So-
cast.
Mug of the movie.
Who shall we give this final toast to?
I have to say the Babadook really brought out in this movie.
What-
Next to Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron.
How
did
about
real well.
to the
I don't know
director?
the name of the.
Oh.
we should
We've
shout-
never given it to a director. We've also only done this twice. So, first time.
No, we did for Thor Ragnarok.
David Bruckner
We did
and
really sad.
Andy Serkis.
Oh, whoops.
Oh yeah, Andy Serkis.
Oh, Andy
Absolutely.
Serkis!
Yeah,
You
let's
were
raise our mugs
great
to
as
Andy
the
Serkis.
bastard son of Loki. You were great.
It was CGI, so he probably played.
He
it.
probably played it.
Yeah, all right, Andy Serkis.
I'm
fun.
kidding. He did not
Okay.
play that
to
game.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
And everyone who has made that Ritual movie because it was really good.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Well done.
And the actors.
My rating has not changed. 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It stands. We didn't really criticize it all.
What did I
that
say?
hard.
7.5.
I'm at a 9. I'm at a 9. Yeah.
leveled out.
Yeah, level
You
up.
almost bumped it up to an 8. My first 8.
I gave the lowest score, and now I feel bad.
Yeah, well,
You shouldn't.
Well, you
you should.
You're a terrible
Well,
person.
Pat and Bryce can't agree on
Cheers,
anything.
everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We're
Oh, yeah,
recording
by the
it.
way,
Yep,
yeah.
It's
St.
not
Patrick's
coming out
Day.
soon.
Really put
Well,
the pressure
let's not
on
say
Ted.
Thursday anymore.
You better release this yesterday, okay? Okay, you hear me?
It's already out.
Yes. It's live. It's been live. Oh.
live. Yeah.
We're on Twitch.
To all
It's been
none
live
of you.
and back in time.
Okay, well, I feel like going for a hike. So,
Yeah, I know it's
I
really
feel-
dark out right now.
what time
Perfect.
is it? At 2:23 a.m.
Get some flashlights.
Great time for a hike.
Schoolhouse.
Let's go, guys.
All right.
All right, guys.
Peace out.
Wait, don't.
Okay,
I got
I'm
an
so sorry.
outro.
Okay.
Got an outro. Thank you so much for watching or listening. You can find us on YouTube and on Podbean. We would love to hear from you on our email, which will be in the description of the episode. Or I think that there's a comments thing on Podbean. I don't know too much about it, although I pay monthly. I should really look into it. I will try my absolute hardest to get us on iTunes. They added a weird step, and it involved any amount of research, so I immediately shied away from it.
Recording stream or something.
Right, yeah, it's some weird code or something.
Yeah,
like you gotta
it's like a
fucking,
list
you gotta be
of
a
the
coder to
episodes,
get it
yeah.
on the fucking. Just take my audio
Hack in
file,
the
put it up.
mainframe.
Jesus Christ. But they, what? Thank you for listening, and
He has been Bryce.
I have been Bryce,
I've been Ben.
I have been Patrick.
I have been Ted.
and thank you.
Cheers to you.
Have a wonderful evening.